The worst possible result for Arsenal, according to Arsene Wenger, 1-1. I'd perhaps take issue with that statement, the worst possible result.
They could have got beat.
Atletico Madrid going home, certainly with it, especially considering they had 10 men for what, 80 minutes of this game?
Yeah, you know, you can say a lot of things about this Arsenal performance. You can say they were unlucky. You can say that Oblak made some saves. You can throw all the excuses you want. But there are two things that you cannot deny. Arsenal against 10 men just weren't at it. And the second thing you cannot do is lose a goal at home in this sort of position. The defendant was amateur at best. You talk about three along the back. You got Monreal, you got Mustafi, and Koscielny in the middle. Not one of them knew that Griezmann was there. Just embarrassing, and it's a horrible result.
Julien Laurent is with us. Julien, I know you were watching. Do you agree with Stevie's assessment? What was your take on the Arsenal display?
Yeah, I think they could have scored more goals. They were in control completely of that game in the second half. I think the only time Atletico Madrid crossed the halfway line was when Griezmann scored that goal, where there's so many things wrong about how they conceded that goal, Arsenal. And for Atletico Madrid, it's a hell of a result to come out of the Emirates in those circumstances with a draw and that goal away from home. If you think that Atletico have only conceded 4 home goals in La Liga this season, the last time they conceded actually was on January the 20th against Girona. They drew 1-1 there. Since then, they never conceded a goal at home. It's going to be a hell of a task for Arsenal to go there next week.
Look, here's the thing, right? It's a European semi-final. You know the goalkeeper is going to be tested. You know you're going to get chances. And especially when you give him the gift of a sending off 10 minutes in, I think Arsenal have to be not just more clinical, but also more patient. And at times, I question whether they were patient enough, given what was at stake. And as a result, you kind of play in to Atletico's hands. You know what you're going to get from them under Diego Simeone. Compact at the back, very well organised. If you don't take your chances, this is what you end up with, and now you're left with an uphill task.
Peak Arsenal, really, under Wenger in many ways, Paul, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look, even if they went away from the Emirates with a 1-0 lead, it was still a long shot that they were going to go through. But I just take issue with the way that they went about the game. I think it was a little bit too slow. I don't think they were aggressive enough. We saw from the goal, when they did play the quick 1-2 and the dink in the box, very athletic leap from Lacazette. So, you know, that for me was the formula to beat this.
Did you feel they created enough chances tonight? Were there plenty? I mean, we've just seen the highlights.
Well, look, you're playing against 10 men. We know that it's always difficult playing against 10 men, and particularly with Athletic, they're very, very well drilled side. But I still think they carved enough chances, enough golden chances, and it comes down to: have you got the killer instinct in front of goal? Are you clinical in front of goal? And it seems as though they haven't. It seems as though we'll get another chance, maybe. It's that sort of attitude with us.
The other story that maybe the highlight doesn't tell is the number of good chances that Arsenal created. And let's be honest, the finishing was awful. How many times we see Arsenal players get in good positions, get good opportunities, and sky their efforts. And again, at this level of a European competition, you expect so much more.
But to Stevie's point about the goal, you cannot give a goal up in the semi-final of a competition. Well, you know it's going to be a tight game. You know, you got the second leg.
Route one.
You cannot give that goal away. It's embarrassing.
When you're playing against 10 men as a centre back, it's thank you very much, because you don't have any running to do, because invariably they end up with nobody up front, and the only thing you have to do is concentrate, and you can't do that at this level.